Hey everybody, Mr. Wagner here. This class, we are going to have some fun. We're going to start by making some bricks. As you see from the last class, we are on breakout 5. Well, we had breakout 4 before, so now we're on breakout 5. And if I run it, let's see what we got. All we have right now is a paddle that moves around. So we need the bricks up top because, you know, breakout is not very good without bricks. Anyway, in this lesson, we're going to step through very systematically how you would do bricks like this. Now, a couple things we're going to be using. We're going to be using lists, and we are also going to be using loops. And both of those things can be tricky, especially if it's the first time you've seen them. But you will see why they are important for computer programming, okay? So let's get going. Let's see here. Let's come up with a good place to do this. Let's go ahead right after like line 32. Let's define a brick. So again, a brick is nothing more than a rectangle, and we know how to draw rectangles from before. So let's just do that. Brick 1 equals, and let's just do 20, 20, 35, 20. Okay, so this is a rectangle tuple. We're starting it at 20, 20, and it's 35 pixels across and say 20 pixels up. Okay, so that's brick 1. And if we scroll down, it's sort of similar to this paddle rect. So I'm just gonna drop this in here. I'm gonna just say pygame dot draw dot rect screen pygame dot color and purple. Love colors. And then brick 1 was the name of our brick. Okay, so that should just draw a brick. Now if I run that, sure enough, we have a purple brick up here, okay? So not a real big deal so far. I think I've kept you in the loop with what's going on. But right now we have brick 1. Now the problem with just brick 1 is that's just a single variable. Now, if I came back up to here to where 34 was, where my brick is, you know, I could have a brick 2 and a brick 3 and a brick 4 and a brick 5. But what happens if we have, say, 100 bricks? Okay, 100 bricks is only 10 by 10 as far as bricks go, or 200 or 10,000. Well, we're not gonna have 10,000. But you get the idea. Suddenly, if we use this method of just creating a variable for each brick, yeah, it'll work, but it becomes very cumbersome very quickly. So let me show you another technique, which is what's known as a list. Okay, now, you know, we all have lists in our life. Probably the most common would be like a grocery list. You know, you have eggs and milk and bread. Okay, so if I were to have a list that had bricks in it, then perhaps I could create a list that just had these tuples in it, okay? So let me just sort of show you what it looks like, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so I'm gonna call it list of bricks equals, and then I'm going to put this, okay? Now that is what's known as an empty list, okay? So there's nothing in there right now. So if I type in list, of bricks dot append, that is a command to add something to a list. Becomes very useful. So we're gonna say 60, 20. By the way, I sort of fiddled with all these numbers to make them good. So if you wonder how I just come up with them, well, I did that on the back end. 60, 20, 35, 20, whoops, 20. Okay, so there's my first brick. I am just going to use copy and paste VV, oops, I should hit a return. V. Okay, so now we have basically 4 bricks, okay? But they're all exactly the same, so we don't want to have them the same. We're gonna have the first one at 60, the next one at 100, the next one at 140, and say the next one at 180, okay. And interestingly, if I typed in print list of bricks, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and run this because I want you to see what it looks like in our shell, okay, because you'll see that. I'm gonna hit run module. List.append takes exactly 1 argument and 4 are given. Okay, something is going wrong. Aha, okay. Turns out I did not put them in a tuple, which is the problem, okay, because I am putting tuples in here. So I may end up editing that out, or I may end up leaving it, the fact that I had a hard time with that. Anyway, so we're gonna drop this all in as tuples. Okay, so here we go, run. We're gonna run the module. And I want you to look down here. This is kind of neat. This is my list. Okay, so my first element on the list is this. And then my second element on the list is this, and the third one, the fourth one, etc. So I'm gonna just scooch that back down there, but you get the idea. Okay, so I'm gonna close that. Now, that's always good, except we need to be able to show those bricks. So let's see what we can do with showing those bricks. And if I scroll down here, to Pygame, draw rectangle. This was our brick 1, okay. All right, everybody. So now we have this list of bricks. And what we want to do is we want to be able to draw those rectangles that are contained within that list. And the way we do that is very similar to line 87. We're gonna do Pygame dot draw dot rect. We're gonna pass the screen. Okay, we have to have the screen in there. And then we're gonna do Pygame dot color. Oops, that is with a capital C. And let's do pink. And then we're going to say list of bricks. And then I'm going to put a bracket, 0 bracket, and then I need to close out the rectangle. Okay. Let's run this and then we're going to discuss it. So we have that pink brick up there. You see that. But we don't have all 4 of those bricks up there. So let me show you how we're gonna put all 4 of those bricks up there. Let's close this. And very similarly, pygame.draw.rect, we have the 0. This 0 here means that is the 0th element of our list, okay? Now here's something that's a little bit weird about Python, and to that end also Java and C and other computer languages. Now there are some languages that don't work this way, but Python definitely does. In going back to our printout of what our lists look like, this tuple here 60, 20, 35, 20 is our 0th element in the list. Our first element in the list is the 100, 20, 35, 20. Our second element is 140, blah, blah, blah. And then our third element is 180, etc. Okay, so in a list, lists are what's known as starting at the 0th element, and then they go up to the n-1 element. Okay, so from 0 to, say if there's 5 elements in the list, they will always be accessed as 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, always starting with 0. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the rest of our list, our bricks into this list. I'm going to use copy paste because it's fast. And we're going to put in 1, 2, and 3. Now, by the way, there is a better way to do this, and we are going to absolutely be doing the better way, but I think it's important to go through it step by step this way first. So let's go ahead and hit run, and there's our 4 bricks, and of course brick 1. Got it? Okay. So let me close this. And now what I want to do is I want to talk about a for loop. Now notice how we have 0, 1, 2, and 3. Now wouldn't it be great if our computer program was able to count to numbers, okay? And Python in reality we can count numbers all day long. And let me show you how that is done. I'm going to show you within this shell because it makes it a little bit easy to see this, okay? I'm going to type, the shell allows me to just type in a little Python command and test it if I want to. Okay, so I'm going to do type for I in range, which is a keyword, and I'm going to put in 10 parenthesis and a colon. Okay, now we haven't talked about the for loop, but this is what it looks like. For, and then a variable in range, blah, 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 okay? And I'm gonna just say print I, like that. And then when I hit return twice, it actually prints 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Notice how the for loop also started with 0, and that's gonna come in really handy when we are here, okay? When we're here in our Pygame rectangle, okay? Okay, so what we're gonna do here is, let's say on line 88 through 93, I'm gonna go ahead and put a comment in front of them so that doesn't get run. And we're gonna use a for loop instead, okay? Let's, I'm gonna type in for, and I'm gonna say brick index in range. And we have 4 bricks in the thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and put in 4, and then I'm gonna do colon, and then I'm going to type in pygame.draw rect, and then we need screen in here, and then pygame.color, and let's go with green, why not? And then comma, oops, comma, and I'm gonna type in list, oh, I don't want that, okay, list of bricks sub brick index, okay, like that, okay? So, just like in here, where we did a for I in range, we're doing for brick index in range of 4. So brick index is gonna be 0, 1, 2, and 3. Then we're gonna do pygame.draw.rect, and then we're gonna draw it, but the brick that we're going to be drawing each time we go through the loop is the one at the brick index. Okay, so let me hit run on this. Cross our fingers, and sure enough, we have 4 green bricks. Now, isn't that nice? Because now, basically, we can use like 2 lines of code instead of these 4 lines of code, okay? And that really doesn't make too much, I mean, we didn't gain that much with just 4 bricks, but imagine if we had 100 bricks, then we could do for a brick index in range 100, Pygame draw, and then draw all the bricks that we want to. That's gonna come in very handy later. Now, similarly to what we did here, we can also use a for loop to create our bricks in the first place. So let's go ahead and see what we can do up there. And we're gonna come up here to where we have our list of bricks and then our bricks.append. Okay, and okay, so what we're going to do, let's start right here. And we're just gonna say bricks equals, okay. So we're gonna have a brand new list. And then we are going to say for brick, use capitals, brick index in range of 10. Okay, we're gonna draw 10 bricks out, right? And then here we are going to say bricks dot append. And here's where some math comes in handy. We're gonna do bricks, brick index times 40, okay? We'll do plus 20. We're gonna do 50, comma, 35, comma, 20. Okay, now, crazy thing here, bricks index first time is gonna be 0. So 0 times 40 is 0. And then we're gonna add 20, so that sort of scoots it over a little bit. 50, I'm actually drawing the second row of bricks. And then the size of the bricks is the same 3520 that we have up here, okay? So what we're gonna do, let's go ahead, our new bricks, our new list is just called bricks. So let's go ahead and draw those, okay? Let's draw those real quick. So we're gonna scroll down here, and very similarly to lines 97, we're gonna use for brick index in range of 10, colon, pygame.draw.rect screen, comma, pygame.color. Let's go with cyan. It's kind of a blue color. Bricks. And then we're gonna put in brick index here. Okay. That looks good. Hopefully we don't have any bugs. And sure enough, look at this. We got all these bricks. Isn't that nice? That ball's still flying through them, but we'll figure all that out later. Okay. Now, one more thing that I want to do, and that is I want to discuss how we're going to make our bricks in the first place. And this will come in handy, you know, in breakout 6 or breakout 7 or whatever, okay? But I want to discuss that just a little bit. Now, if you noticed here on line 44, we did a bricks.append brick index. Remember, brick index is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10, or all the way up to 9. And then times 40, okay? That's how far over. And then plus 20, and then we got 50, and then 35, and then 25. A lot of times I don't like to use numbers like this because I find them a little bit confusing, okay? So we're gonna try just a couple things here. I'm going to create some variables. I'm gonna create a variable called brick size, and I'm gonna make that 35, okay? Because that's actually how big our brick is, okay? And then I'm going to create another variable called brick spacing, which is how far in between the bricks I want. And I'm just gonna make that 5. And then I'm going to say brick initial shift, okay? And that's basically, you know, if I got all those bricks that are coming out, how far I want them to, you know, when they first start moving. Okay, and I'm going to create that, I'm gonna say 20. That's actually this number up here, this plus 20, okay? All right, so very similarly, let me go ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and you know, comment those lines out so those don't go running, because I want to create a new line 44, new line 45, but I'm going to do it down here at line 50. So I'm going to say for brick index in range of 10, okay, and then we're going to say bricks dot append. We need 2 brackets because we're putting a tuple inside the list. And right here, we're gonna say brick index let's see here, times, and I'm gonna go ahead and put in brick size plus the brick spacing. Okay, now I had to put that in parentheses because of order of operations. I need brick size, which is 35, and brick spacing, which is 5, to be multiplied by brick index first, and then we can add the brick initial shift. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next line on this, okay? Remember that backslash character means I go to the next line. Brick initial shift, and let's see here. Then I need 50, because that's my Y value. And then that 35, which is actually brick size, and then 20, which is how tall the brick is. Okay, all right, quite a bit in there, right? So let's play with this just a little bit. First off, let's see if we can run it and have that run okay. Was never closed. Oh, we missed a parenthesis. Okay, so run, let's run this module. Sure enough, we got our 10 things going on there. Now, if we change our brick spacing to say, I don't know, 25, you'll notice that all our bricks are spaced out, see? So by using variables, let's put that back at 5. Let's change our brick size to 45. By using variables, see, we can make things bigger or smaller and keep our spacing all the same size. And that's all because we just did a little bit of math inside here. Okay. All right. So breakout 5 is a little bit longer than I wanted it to be as far as the video goes, but I guess that's okay. We did go through a lot of stuff in this one. So I'm gonna call it here, and you may have to watch this one a second time because lists and for loops are kind of hard conceptually, but they're also the bread and butter of programmers. So this is important stuff. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day, and I will see you on breakout 6.